Prime has, because Prime has turned the team around, but that says more about how bad the team sucked last year than how good Dion is performing necessarily. But
Yeah.
if you look at that, any other coach would be seen as a successful season.
Buffaloes ain't playing, bro. They're stuck.
Are they? I saw.
L after L.
Yeah, I think. I think that the hype was there. The hype was what got them the first couple of wins. The first game wasn't, well, you can call it an upset. The rifle game was a tight game as well. But ever since they got run run over by, was it Oregon? They never really recovered.
Yeah. I'm gonna run and they're gonna run them into the ground, dude.
Yeah,
They'll do crazy.
yeah. And what Prime is already talking about, Prime is already talking about getting new players. So his style isn't. His style is, I want dogs. At the beginning of the season, he said he's 7 dogs away from being a real contender. I think that number has doubled. So when I
Sell the
s-
whole team.
when I see the games, it seems more like, um, when I see the games, it seems to me like they know they feel the pressure of everyone watching them. The whole nation is watching them, and when you enter into a platform or a space the way Dion does, you are bound to create enemies. And so I saw that, I think there was a coach. I don't know if this is true or not, but they had to fire a coach that was, or a staff member that was, giving the opponents information. I mean, I don't know if that's true. Did you hear something like that?
Mhm. You mean stealing signs?
I don't know if it was stealing signs, but he was doing something that was.
There was this scandal where Michigan was basically stealing signs all around the country,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and they want to suspend the current head coach of Michigan for that whole debacle. Let's call it that one. What did you want to say actually?
So what I wanted to say was that what I was saying is that I think that he started out with a bang. The team starting out with a bang, but now they're realizing that we're on another level, and it's not as easy as a lower level, because the higher you go, the more good players you face.
The less
It's
air you have,
the less,
air, the higher altitude,
yeah, the less
less air,
area, and
more
then you
exhausting.
really need to be the best of the best. You can be a great player in high school. When you go to college, hey, there are a lot of great players in college as well, and you need to fight for your spot. And then you need to fight your spot to get to the pros. And then it's the best of the best of the best playing. And I think Dion now is facing a real challenge as a coach. But it might backfire, KR, because of course when the school is performing well, artists were going to see the games, the first couple of games. Oh, that's amazing, KR, that's amazing.
Swiggity swoo.
But it's the same. I mean, the what goes up must come down, and if you go up too fast, you might crash very, very, very ugly. So in a very ugly way. And that's what I'm afraid of. If
The
Dion doesn't turn it around by next season, he might be out real quick. And any dreams he might have to maybe go to the NFL or
be a long
whatever, it's
coach.
gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be, yeah.
It's crazy because everyone is chiming in, even Samuel. L. Jackson said the following: Brain farts all around. The OC can't run three plays to get off the field. Can't call three-run plays to get off the field. The DC can get his guys to stop a baby carriage. Shiloh can barely walk and is going to end up
Yeah.
playing wheelchair football behind that O line. My rage is better served watching villains in a good Bollywood movie. Shamshera, here I come. No more buff ball for me tonight. No criticism on the head coach, though I see. Look, he was just standing around watching. Did you see him using a mic or a communication with any other coach before the half was over?
Who was he talking
Samuel,
about? Who was he talking about?
the head coach.
Let me see that one once more.
Samuel is kicking Prime's back in.
Wow.
Tough.
Yeah, very tough.
Shadur, I got him confused earlier too. Shiloh, 21 is 21. Yes, that's right. I'm also going to learn to spell it correctly also. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. The whole team ain't playing, and maybe this will improve the coaching, getting this type of backlash. Well, time will tell. But they are five. How much did they? I think it's 5 or 4 or 5 now. So they are performing better than last year, but it ain't. I mean, also people are the
It,
expectations
it,
are a bit
isn't,
wild. Right?
it isn't what Prime promised. That's what I would say. He promised like contender. He promised that he would be a contender immediately. That's what he said. Because I remember in the first press conference, they asked him how long he thinks it will take for them to be, ready to go and to contend, and he said now. Right
No.
now.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be very challenging. I think that again, if this was any other coach who came into Buffalo and turned the team around the way Prime has, because Prime has turned the team around, but that says more about how bad the team sucked last year than how good Dion is performing necessarily. But if
Yeah.
you look at that, any other coach would be seen as a successful season
Yeah.
because they're getting more wins. They got more wins already,
They
but
got more wins the last year.
yeah. So, but because it's Prime and Care, if you look at the games, man, a lot of games they should have won. Well, a lot, 2, 3 games they should have won. If you look at the amount of mistakes, the way the defense, I
Should have
mean,
won is a big. It's a big reach, dude. They
they
got blown out
caressed,
a couple of times.
they got blown out, but they also lost some very close games.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the way the defense performs,
Yeah, that defense ain't worth nothing. These guys can tackle, man. I'll
no,
be honest. You said it from the start. I said give them time.
I
I
told
gave
you
them
this.
time,
I
and
told you this.
they became
Yeah.
even more horrible than in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
You were on point on that. I gotta give you that one though. I gotta give you that one. You were from the start. These guys can tackle. I said give them time.
Yeah. And
Well,
another
never
yeah,
give time to people you know is gonna fail more. But okay.
yeah. And what I think is that, and that's what the other coaches were saying, they believed in, they didn't believe in simply getting good players. They believed in developing players. Now, I'm skeptic here. Of course, I would say that if all the big players come to my program. I mean, if I'm Alabama, of course I'm already getting the best players. So when I see that another team is getting players, then I'll say no. I believe in. I don't. Why did you get rid of the players you had and bring new players? It's not fair. You need to develop. But if you're getting the good players, you're in a very privileged position. So I think that's a bit hypocritical.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think for players as well, young people, young boys, because a lot of them are still boys, young men. So
Boys
adolescent
to men.
boys, young men, yeah. What I do think, KR, is very important in that stage is people that help you grow, that groom you to grow, and that people that help you to groom to grow, the leaders, the mentors. These people, you need them in your life. You want to have those people in your life so you can that can guide you. And
Mm.
if I mean, imagine like you already have abandonment issue because your dad left you, and then you go to a program, and because you don't perform the way you need to perform, it's like you're out. I mean, it's I mean, if that's not a trigger for trauma,
Come on, man.
more,
To be
more.
honest, man, trauma. Well, it.
At what point? So let me ask you this, Kiara. At what age do you think that it's good to that you should start doing that?
Well,
Playing, let's say, okay, let's say you have a you're coaching a kindergarten team.
mhm.
You're not gonna say, "Hey, b- yo, you three, you suck. Get out. Let's get three new kindergarten kids to fill in your roster spots because you suck." You're gonna let everyone play because it's like, it's for fun. But my question to you is, at what age do you stop
Nurturing.
nurturing
You
and
start trying
kicking
to
out people if they don't
build dogs.
perform? Yeah. At what age do you start doing that?
At the age, kids should understand reality of life.